Welcome to the Fancy Thinker. I'm Jared Quartermatch, and I last weekend I finished book two in the Drowned Kingdom Saga by PL Stuart, called "The Last of the Atalanteans." And you can see here it's got this cool cover with the mammoth, kind of like mimicking the an extinct species here. So this is the like I said, second book in the Drowned Kingdom Saga, and this book starts off, bam, right into the action. And as I noted in my first review of the book, the first book was the Drowned Kingdom, and that book ended on a cliffhanger. It leaves us hanging in the action, and so this book we pick right up where we left off with our main character, Prince Othrin, narrating to us the exciting events of his life. Um, so, as noted previously in my review on the Drowned Kingdom, Othran, the main character, is not the most enlightened guy. Stewart even gives us a disclaimer at the front of the book saying as much. And so it's an interesting experiment, and Stewart pulls it off well. He really does. Even though we wince like occasionally at Othran's thoughts, we do also see his growth into a better person in some ways. And so this is a non-spoiler review, so I don't want to give anything away about the second book. But Othran is put into a position in the second book where he is kind of forced to be a bystander, an observer of sorts, to the events going on around him, and it allows the character to be a bit more reflective and rational about his situation. He's still a young man, and so young men tend to be hot headed, but because he's put in this role, it allows him to focus on other people besides himself, and hold back the normally uninformed bigotry he has displayed in the last book. A very clever device used by Stewart to grow the character while relaying the story to us. So I thought that was very cool, what he did here, through the action of this, especially the first half of the book. It's just like boom, 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 tense, action-packed stuff. Um, Othran continually questions his views on many things as the exciting tale unfolds. The questions tie into themes like what it means to be a king, and like how does one reconcile one's beliefs when provided with a worldview that contradicts said beliefs. Author's got a lot to think about here. And so once again, I think just like in the last book, there's some ideas here put forth about Othran changing historical records. Related to so this kind of relates to a theme that history is written by the victors, and it still makes me cringe. The history nut in me. I'm cringing the whole time that he says stuff like that. I'm just like, ah. But of course, that's not off the mark. That stuff did happen. Probably still does happen. Um, and like one of the lines that his men says to him is, "If you want to be a king whose name will be sung in glory long after you're dead, you'll have to kill a lot of people in the process." And that's that line kind of really drives home a hard truth that Othran must face. About possibly becoming a king, or at least, at the very least, just being a leader. Um, so this second book wraps up a storyline, very nicely. It has a good ending, in contrast to the first book, which left us with a cliffhanger. And since we know this is a planned 7 book series, I believe, then I would guess this is kind of the end to the first arc of this saga. And so, um, there was a and there's like plenty in there to lead us to more things happening in the future. There's plenty there. There's so much room for growth with this story. There's so many things that are laid out and planned out, for us to get into to really want to know what happens on this continent that these last of the Atalanteans have come to establish themselves as a new nation. And so I really can't wait to see what book 3 brings us. So I'm excited to be able to read that. I'll probably get to that next year sometime, and really looking forward to it. But yeah, so I recommend this book, The Last of the Atalanteans, and I hope you check it out too. It was a great job all around. As always, be good to each other. Thank you.